Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hostos Community College. We're so excited you can join us. Today, we will be enrolling for classes. Today's event is an onboarding event for the upcoming semester. The goal of the event is so that everyone can know some basic information about Hostos, learn how to find the classes they need for the upcoming semester, and be able to enroll for classes. Let's get started.
Let's get started. For today, you're going to need a laptop or a computer. It's recommended to use this versus a phone. We do not recommend using a phone to enroll for classes due to the small screen where details could get lost. Phones are also not reliable because you have to switch between screens frequently. In addition to that, you're going to need your CUNY First username and password so that you can log into CUNY First and enroll for classes. We highly recommend that you have the Zoom app installed on your phone and not use the browser version when in virtual events. And this is a good time to start preparing so that you're ready for when it's time to enroll. Hostos email and Microsoft 365. You might hear students refer to it as the Hostos webmail. Our brand new 365 system allows you to have access to Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, OneDrive, and more of their services. The great thing is that now your Hostos email is included as well. All you have to do is go to office.com and click the sign in to your account option. There, you will type in your entire CUNY First login credentials, including the email and password. You will fill out the information that's requested, and you should have access to all of the apps in Microsoft 365, including Outlook. Using the QR code on your screen, you can also download the Outlook app onto your phone and have access to all your documents 24 hours a day. Please check your hostess email daily, at least 3 or 4 times a day, so that we can communicate with you.
There are a lot of services on campus. That's one of the great things that you'll find about Hostos Community College. We have a lot of services. Today, I'm just going to mention three very important ones that everybody should know about. So one of them is the financial aid office, which is in the D building, in the Savoy building in the basement. That's 120 to 149th Street, and that is the financial aid office. Financial aid, everybody that's here should apply for financial aid, even if you don't think that you qualify. And if you have any questions about that, please contact them right away. I always recommend email, but you can also call or go in person. On the same floor, right down the hallway, is the bursar's office. The bursar's office handles anything having to do with a bill, vouchers, if your employer is paying for your classes, or anything like that. And also, whenever there's a refund from financial aid, that goes through the bursar's office. The next one is health services. This is very important because everybody has to follow the state regulations on vaccines and immunizations. To get your paperwork in the system, make sure that you contact them if you have any questions. Their email is immunization@hostos.cuny.edu. And they're also located in the Savoy building on the first floor.
Academics at Hostos. Let's review some of the majors and degrees that we offer at Hostos Community College. We have associate's degrees in art, we have associates in science degrees, and we have associates in applied science degrees. As you can see, within each degree, we have different majors. Did you know, for example, that within liberal arts AA, which is our most popular major, you can also choose a lot of different options? These options will help you to continue your education and move on to a senior college so that you can get a bachelor's degree or maybe even your master's. Under associates in applied science degrees, these majors help students find jobs right after graduation. They usually include some type of certificate or license afterwards. Go to the hostel's website on the academics to get more details about all of the majors. And if you have any questions, please ask a coach. If you need to change your major, please let us know right away because the classes we recommend are always based on your official major.
So one of the biggest questions that I'm always asked is whether a student is full-time or part-time and what each of those things means. For Hostos Community College, for us, a part-time schedule is less than 12 billable credits. That means less than 12 hours a week. That will be about 1 to 3 classes per semester, and it can take you up to more than 3 years to graduate, depending on how many credits you take. A full-time schedule means that you're taking more than 12 credits. So 12 to 18 credits is usually a full-time schedule, and that could be 3, 4, 5, 6 classes per semester, and you graduate faster. Why? Because you're taking more credits. The more classes you take, the faster you graduate. And remember, you have to pass your classes. So please plan accordingly so that you can take more credits but also pass and get a good grade. It's about balancing when you're in college. So make sure that you pay attention to the schedule that you are picking and that it aligns with any other responsibilities that you have, as well as your study time. This is a very important thing for time management, is to plan your schedule and making sure that you have enough time to study. Also, the full-time and part-time statuses can change if you're an athlete, F1 visa student, or a veteran. That's a separate conversation, so make sure that you speak to a coach if you fall into those categories, so we can explain a little bit more. Okay, now it's time to get ready to enroll for classes. The first thing you should know is remember and save the Hostos website, which is www.hostos.cuny.edu. That's the starting point where everything should be. Click on the login button on the top right of the page and select CUNY first from the drop-down menu. Right here, login, CUNY first. Once you select CUNY first, a small picture will show up that says CUNY first. Again, click on login, which should be on the left side of the page, and then it should look something like this. To log into CUNY first, make sure you have your username and leave in the part that says login.cuny.edu. Once you log in, you're going to the Student Center and then DegreeWorks. Also, make sure you have your contact information updated in CUNY first so that we're able to contact you if we have any questions. Once you're in Student Center and you go to DegreeWorks, we're going to look at your degree audit. It should look something like this on the left side, your degree audit, and it will tell you the classes that you need in order to complete the major, that your official major. Please review all the requirements on DegreeWorks. Verify that your information is correct. If you have any questions about your major or your transfer credits, please look that over carefully before you sign up to any classes. Make sure that you're signing up for the right major and that you're not taking classes that you've already taken at a previous school. If there's something wrong with your major or your credits, let us know so that way we can make sure that we have everything figured out. The next thing is plans. On the top center of the page, all the way on the top, there's a button that says plans. You click on that and then you're going to select the plan. Most of you should have a plan already. If not, we're probably making one as you speak. Under the plans, you'll see a few options depending on how long you've been at Hostels, depending on whether you've changed your major, or you might have 1 or 2 or 3 plans. Select the correct plan that was created for you and review the classes that we are recommending. Remember, we're selecting classes based on your official major. So you're trying to change your major, you might need a new plan, and therefore you want to make sure you speak to us. You'll notice that sometimes in the plans you'll have a small blue box next to one of the classes or on the top of the plan. Those are notes. Please click on the notes and see any information that a coach might have written that can help you in your path. So when you're reading the notes, it's the little blue box and it may have details, something that you didn't understand or something to be aware of. Here's a sample of what a note looks like. If you have any questions, please let a coach know. So now you know what classes you need to enroll for. Let's go into Schedule Builder. First thing you want to do is go back into CUNY first and click on the Schedule Builder icon. You're going to pick the semester that you want to enroll for. It should look something like this. And then there should be a plan created for you, which looks like this. And you'll be able to click on it and load your classes. Now you can customize your schedule the way you want. There's a few things that you should pay attention to when you are programming your schedule. Once the classes are loaded, make sure that you click on class details so that you can see the details that are here about all the classes that you're picking. The next thing is sort by. Choose whether you want evening or morning classes. This makes it a lot easier to create a schedule that is right for you. The last part on the right, and it may look slightly different depending on your browser, but it is the filters. Click on the filters options so that, for example, you can filter out the closed sections. Another thing to make sure to look at is what is circled here sometimes is a class description of the class. You also have prerequisites here. It tells you if the class is in person or online, who the professor is, and other details that may be important for you to know. You have a button arrows here that say results one of, and then there'll be a number. So click on this blue arrow, and each time you click on the blue arrow, the results changes, the schedule changes, and you'll be able to see different options. I always tell students, if you see a class that you like, you click on it and you pin it down. If you don't like it, you move on to the next one. Make sure to pay attention to the course modalities so that you don't accidentally enroll into an online class when you want in person or vice versa. Another thing to pay attention to is writing intensive classes. Everybody needs 2 writing-intensive classes in order to graduate from a associate's program. You may not need a writing intensive this semester. It depends on what your plan says, so read it carefully. But when you are searching for a class, in this example, Health 215, 2 options come up, is regular Health 215 and then 215W. It's the same exact class, except one section would be writing intensive and one is regular. Writing intensive classes is not an English class, all right? These are 2 separate things. So make sure that you follow the plans and you speak to a coach if you're not sure whether or not you should be taking a writing intensive class this semester. Again, if you see a W at the end of a class, that means the class is writing intensive. How do you search for the writing intensive class? You click on the advanced search button on the left side of the search bar, and then on the course attributes, select writing intensive. Again, on the course attribute value, you're going to click writing intensive, so it'll be twice the way you see it here. Then you click the search button, and then all the classes will appear there on the right side, showing you the different options that you have.
Congratulations, you are now enrolled in your classes. Don't forget some very important information. You must attend classes. If you do not attend your classes or log in and communicate with your professors, you will get a WN grade, which is bad because you're financially liable for that class. It can affect your financial aid, or you'll have to pay for the class out of pocket because financial aid does not pay for it. Winter classes start January 2nd, 2025, and spring 2025 classes begin on January 25th. Don't forget to go to class and download the academic calendars from the Hostels website, www.hostels.cuny.edu. Congratulations on enrolling for your classes. Now that you have enrolled, it's important to pay attention to some important dates that are coming up. These deadlines can be found on the academic calendar, which is on the Hostels website, www.hostels.cuny.edu. The last day to drop your classes will always be the day before the first day of class, but please make sure that you do it on time so that way you can avoid any penalties. Some of the other important deadlines are also on the board on the screen for you to pay attention to. And always review your academic calendar every semester.
Thank you for coming to today's event, and welcome to Hostos Community College.
Screen, you'll see the QR code and the website for our course request form. This form is intended for you to request a class that perhaps is closed or does not fit your schedule. It is the student's responsibility to follow up with the department directly. Every department is in charge of their own classes. So for example, if you're trying to enroll or request a biology class, then you would have to speak to the biology unit in the natural science department. If you are requesting a math class or an English class, then those are the departments that you have to speak to. The coaches don't have much say as to which classes open or don't open. Only the departments can dictate that. Once you click on the link or use the QR code, there is a long disclaimer there, and there's a link to all of the departments and their contact information. Please follow up with them directly.